Morning students, welcome back to the social class. You know very well in our previous class now we have discussed many of the important basic concepts of the social science. Am I right? So as we have discussed about many of the important concepts, now today we are about to start our syllabus. Okay, so as we are about to start our syllabus now, as a part of syllabus, today what I have planned is I have planned to start the history first lesson. So history first lesson is the sources. Okay, so in this lesson now I am going to give only the brief introduction to this lesson. Okay, so as I am going to give the brief introduction to this lesson now, 50% of the lesson is going to be covered. So 50% of the lesson you are going to understand. Remaining 50% is there now. In our upcoming class, one by one, we are going to discuss and we try our level best to have command over the whole chapter or the whole lesson itself. Okay. So as a part of introduction, first let me tell you what are all the things you are going to learn in this chapter. In the sense, once we are going to complete this lesson, what are all the important things we are going to understand from this lesson? It is very essential for us to know. See, the first one is sources required to the study of history. First thing what we are going to study from this lesson is sources required to the study of history. So when we are going to study the history now, some sources are very essential. So what are that sources which are essential for the study of history we are going to study in this lesson. Next is types of sources of history. In sources only again there are some types. So that types of sources of history also we are going to study in detail in this lesson. Okay. Next we are going to study about the importance of the archaeological sources. So it is very important for us to understand the importance of the archaeological sources also, how they are going to help us in order to study the history, or how they are going to help us in understanding the history. Okay. And next we are going to discuss about the importance of inscriptions also. So they are also going to play a very vital role when we are going to study about the history. Okay. And next we are going to study even about the importance of oral sources in history. See, what do you mean by oral sources? See, for some of the historical events now, there is no written source. So many of the people, what they are saying, the stories will come by person to person, by mouth to mouth, from generation to generation. So that also we are going to understand in detail in this lesson. Okay. So these 5 important concepts we are going to study from this lesson. Okay. The first one is the sources required to the study of history, types of sources of history, importance of the archaeological sources, and importance of inscriptions, and importance of oral sources in history also we are going to study in detail in this lesson. Okay. So first we came to know what important concepts we are going to study from this lesson. Okay. So next we are going to understand generally what do you mean by history. See, most of you people might be aware what do you mean by history. See, history is nothing but systematic study of the past. In the sense, whatever the things have been happened or took place in past, about them only we are going to discuss systematically. So once we are going to study systematically about the past events, that is only going to be known as the history. Okay. Now I will give one small example here, and once I am going to give the example now, it will be clear to you. Okay. Let us take the example of Mahatma Gandhi. See, Mahatma Gandhi is going to be known as our father of nation. Okay. So as he is the father of nation, it becomes our responsibility to study about Mahatma Gandhi also. So when we are going to study about the history of Mahatma Gandhi, we need to study systematically. So how we are going to study systematically? Directly we are not going to start with death of Mahatma Gandhi. So if we are going to discuss the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi first, no, there is no use at all. So when we are going to study about Mahatma Gandhi, first we are going to start with the birth of Mahatma Gandhi. So when was Mahatma Gandhi born? Who were their parents? Okay, and where he got childhood education, and finally where he went for the higher education, and after that achievements of Mahatma Gandhi, and after that we are going to study the role of Mahatma Gandhi in freedom struggle, and finally we are going to discuss about the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. Then it is going to be known as a systematic study of Mahatma Gandhi, and it is easy for us to understand the history of Mahatma Gandhi also. So in between, if you are going to start, no, we will be in confusion. So in order to eradicate that confusion only, what we need to do is we need to study systematically, step by step. If we are going to study, no, it will be clear to you. Okay, and one more example I can give you. For example, you see, you might be known very well about the first war of Indian independence, so which took place in 1857. So it is also going to be known as 1857 revolt also, or we can call this one as Sipahi mutiny. Okay, so when we are supposed to study about the first war of Indian independence, no, directly we are not going to study about Mangal Pandey. No doubt Mangal Pandey is also going to play a very important role in the first war of Indian independence. Even though he is going to play a very important role in the first war of Indian independence, no, we need to start with the main reasons for the first war of Indian independence. So when we are going to discuss about the first war of Indian independence, no, first we are going to discuss about the political reasons, economical reasons, administrative reasons, military reasons, and finally the immediate cause. So when we are going to discuss about the immediate cause, no, that time the Mangal Pandey comes. So if we are going to study in this systematic way, our study becomes complete, and it becomes very easy for us to understand each and everything in detail without any confusion or without any difficulty. Okay, so for that reason, history is nothing but a systematic study of past events. Okay, Herodotus is going to be known as the father of history. Okay, because he has contributed a lot for the study of history. So as he has contributed a lot for the study of history, no, we are going to consider him as the father of history. And the next important thing what we are going to study from this chapter is sources. See, how the history is means, history is just like a lawyer, advocate. Have you seen the advocate? See, if you happen to visit the court, no, in court, number of lawyers are going to be seen. Do you know how they are going to defend their case in the, or how they are going to fight their case in the court? They are going to fight their case with the help of witness, with the help of evidences, and with the help of documents. Okay, so without the evidence, without the documents, without the witness, a lawyer cannot fight his case in the court. Like that only the history. When it comes to the history, history is also supposed to have the sources. On what source you are going to say that this happened like this? Okay, so for that reason, sources are going to play a very important role in the history. What do you mean by source? See, source is very simple. In the past, no, people they used to make use of number of goods and things. For example, you see, in the ancient time, the farmers, they used to make number of equipments in agricultural field. And as they used to make use of number of equipments in the agriculture field, no, some of the equipments are left out, they are remained. Now the historians, they are going to study the period of that area based on the sources, that is the equipments what they got in that area. So they are going to become the sources, they are going to become the evidences. They are going to become the documents also. Okay, so the sources are going to play a very important role in the study of history. So when it comes to the sources, no, again there are two types of sources. One is the literary sources and the other one is archaeological sources. So in literary sources only, again there are two types. One is the written literature, the other one is the oral literature also. So that we are going to discuss in detail in our upcoming class. So as I said you, it is only the introductory part of this lesson. So it is only the introduction about this lesson. So related to this, no, we are going to have a clear-cut discussion in our upcoming class. Okay, so today your homework will be, what do you mean by history, you have to write, and what are the sources. These two questions you need to write as a part of homework. Okay, so till now whatever I have discussed, I hope it is clear to you. Okay, in next class once again we are going to continue with other concepts of this lesson. Okay, thank you.